Now we will begin looking at the syllabus for the course, and I'm going to go through and briefly describe the syllabus for you. I hope you've downloaded the version of the syllabus so you can follow along with me. You got your basic information. At the top of the syllabus tells you when we meet, the time we meet. That'll happen, of course, when I'm able to return to the classroom. And then you have office hours. Obviously, none of that's going to amount to anything until I'm actually back on campus. For the time being, I'm really available kind of 24/7 to you, because I'm almost always on the internet at all times of the day and night. So you can always shoot me an email or post something to discuss on the internet. Or if you find some link you think is pertinent to the course, you can post it, and I'll get back to you. The telephone number is to my office number. If you really need to get in touch with me, I can send you my cell phone number, and we can talk that way. I'll be probably mostly in Baltimore during this period, so easily available on a local number by cell phone. And of course, you got my email, and can easily get to me there. The textbook is a Hallowell and Jen Porter book, Political Philosophy. That's your basic textbook that sort of explains the basic ideas of Western political thought. That's your commentary on the original readings you will do. The Jen Porter book, Classics in Political Philosophy, is short excerpts taken from the writings of the political philosophers. So as you do your readings, you can read the original text and then look at the textbook to get some idea of get some help with the interpretation of the textbook. The Political Science Research Guide, that's on the High Library's homepage, that has all sorts of links to sources that pertain to this course. And I say a lot of the stuff, the syllabus, the assignments, the notices, the PowerPoint presentations, these video presentations, discussion boards, all of that's going to be located on your Blackboard 9 server, which you can get into and find that you can do many things with that. And then, of course, I have a huge library available to you online, the Liberty Fund Library, which is like having the Library of Congress available to you. All the great classic works that are all in the original sources. So anytime you need to get a copy of Plato's Republic or a copy of Machiavelli's The Prince, you don't have to run around in stores and pay some astronomical price to buy them. You will have them available to you on the Liberty Fund web page. That's just an enormous resource. Those of you who have Nooks and smartphones and Androids and what have you, they can download books onto your pages. You'll be able to download these books and use them almost as if you own them. I don't believe there's any copyrights on them, and you'll be able to go through these books at your leisure using the research material there. And I imagine copying the pertinent material into your papers as you do them. So research is much simpler nowadays. Course description and objectives. We began excuse me, with the ancient Greeks, and we moved down through the Renaissance period. We're going to look at the origins, foundations, and developments of the traditional Western political ideas from their beginnings in Western civilization through the 16th century. And one of the things I will do is demonstrate how every how implicit in every conception of government is a view of human nature and destiny of the human condition. That is, when we look at human nature and try to analyze what we believe is the nature of man, we will relate that to these broader themes of politics, because our understanding of human nature and the purposes of life itself very much pertains to why people select the kinds of judgments about politics that inform their lives and direct their thinking. Topics such as the human condition, justice, equality, human nature, order, freedom, peace, war, and war are explored and debated. So all the major topics that people talk about when it comes to politics we'll be looking at in this course from a variety of points of view, and we'll often be using contemporary examples. So even though we may be discussing Plato this week, we may be interested in whether Plato would be agreeing with something, let's say, Obama has said in some forum. Would he agree that America has a moral obligation to, let's say, subjugate the unruly tribes of the Middle East, and in order to bring the world more peace? Is this a responsibility of a world power? What were the ancient Greeks doing dealing with their troublesome smaller powers that were all around them? So I say we'll look at the kind of typical topics that every philosopher has to deal with, every political thinker: the human condition, justice, equality, human nature, order, freedom, peace, and war, and it goes on and on. And I expect you, as the course goes on, to contribute to the class discussions and our debates on these issues, and either by emails or comments you make in the discussion groups that I've set up for you, or any other mechanism. You can, by posting various articles and what have you online, or links, so we can keep this discussion going and keep it interesting. Course requirements: you're expected to do the reading assignments before each class. I will tell you where we're supposed to be in terms of the class assignments, and everybody's supposed to come to class prepared. Obviously, if I deliver a lecture and you don't have the slightest clue to what I'm talking about, it's a pretty ineffectual lecture. That's why it's important that everybody do their reading. We will, during the course of the course, 2 to 7 reaction papers will be required. The reaction papers are an analysis of a group of thinkers that I assign you, and after you report on these thinkers during class, I expect you to throw together a good analytical paper telling me why these particular thinkers have had enduring significance in Western political thought. We'll talk more about that paper later on. I will assign you a topic, and it will be due no later than a week after it's discussed in class. When the topic comes up in the syllabus, you will be the class leader in discussing it, and then you will ask the questions and answer the questions and conduct the class conversation. And then when that is finished, a week later, you will submit an evaluation of the importance and contributions that your political thinker, your assigned political thinker, made on this particular issue. The paper should be 2 to 7 pages long. Say due 1 week after you do your report in class, and of course it must be handwritten and double spaced. I expect you to use the formats provided for you by standard word processing programs, double spaced, no more than an inch margins. Fonts should be about the sizes of the fonts on this page here. I'm looking to see whether or not the paper demonstrates you've actually read the material and comprehended it. I'm looking to determine whether it's well organized. Did you put it in some order that makes concrete sense? Do you make an argument, demonstrate insights, synthesize ideas, show relationships, explain cause and effect, and incorporate additional library resource? If you do all that, you're probably in a pretty good position to make an A in this class. So you make a good, solid argument that's convincing. You show some insights that are not obvious about the topic, and you bring together ideas and relationships between the various thinkers and ideas, and then you explain some cause and effects between them. It is, and also looking to determine whether the paper is well written and free from inordinate amount of spelling or grammatical errors. The majority of your research should be based on original sources, meaning what the author actually said. Now, you've got lots of those, since one of the textbooks deals with what Richard Ball said at a particular time, or Machiavelli said at a particular time. That is all there. So you can quote directly from those works. Obviously, I have a lot of grammatical and spelling errors. I'm going to mark you down for that. I'm not impressed with all the word correction programs out there. It should be fairly easy to turn in programs that papers that have next to no grammatical mistakes. So there isn't much an excuse anymore for a lot of grammatical mistakes on a term paper. The next thing I'll do is explain Blackboard for you. I will stop this portion here now and post it on the internet, and then when you finish this portion, get into the section that explains Blackboard. See you later. Bye-bye.